सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जय देवी शारदे विद्या विशारदे जय देवी शारदे विद्या विशारदे विद्या बुद्धि प्रदे विद्या बुद्धि प्रदे वरदे शुभदे जय देवी शारदे शृंगार रूपिणी शृंगेरी वासिनी शृंगार रूपिणी शृंगेरी वासिनी प्रशांत वदने तमोहारि वरदे जय देवी शारदे ब्रह्म हृदयेश्वरी देवी वागीश्वरी पाहि परमेश्वरी तुषार शिखरेश्वरी भावरागलयताळ ज्ञान विलोले भावरागलयताळ ജ്ഞാനവിലോലേ കാശ്മീരപുരവാസിനി വീണാ വിനോദിനി ജയദേവി ശാരദേ വിദ്യാവിശാരദേ വിദ്യാബുദ്ധിപ്രദേ വരദേ ശുഭദേ ജയദേവി ശാരദേ. ഓം നമോ നാരായണായ. 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 ഓം യം ബ്രഹ്മാ വരുണേന്ദ്രരുദ്രമരുതഃ സ്തുന്വന്തി ദിവ്യൈസ്തവൈഃ വേദൈः സാംഗപദക്രമോപനിഷदैः ഗായന്തി യം സാമഗാഃ ധ്യാനാവസ്ഥിതതദ്ഗതേന മനസാ പശ്യന്തി യം യോഗിനഃ യസ്യാന്തം ന വിദുഃസുരാസുരഗണാഃ ദേവായ തസ്മൈ നമഃ. ദേവായ തസ്മൈ നമഃ. Let us chant from verse number 36. സുഖം ത്വിദാനീം ത്രിവിധം ശൃണു മേ ഭരതർഷഭ. അഭ്യാസാത് രമത്തെ യത്ര ദുഃഖാന്തം ച നിഗച്ഛതി. यत्तदग्रे विषमिव परिणामे मृतोपमं तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तम् आत्मबुद्धिप्रसादजं विषयेन्द्रियसंयोगात् यत्तदग्रे मृतोपमं परिणामे विषमिव तत्सुखं राजसं स्मृतं यदग्रे चानुबन्धे च सुखं मोहनमात्मनः तत्तामसमुदाहृतं न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्त्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यदेभिः स्यात्त्रिभिर्गुणैः ब्राह्मणक्षत्रियविशां शूद्राणां च परन्तप कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि स्वभावप्रभवैर्गुणैः शमो दमस्तपः शौचं ज्ञानं विज्ञानमास्तिक्यं ब्रह्मकर्मस्वभावजं शौर्यं तेजो धृतिर्दाक्ष्यं युद्धे चाप्यपलायनं दानमीश्वरभावश्च कृषिगौरक्ष्यवाणिज्यं वैश्यकर्मस्वभावजं परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजम्. So yesterday we were discussing the three types of sukham: sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. What is the nature of sattvic sukha? Agre vishamiva pariname amritopamam. In the beginning it is like visham, poisonous, difficult. In the end it is like nectar. What about the rajasic one? In the beginning it is like amritam. In the end it is like visham. What about the tamasic one? Okay, what about the rajasic? The main feature is this sukham is born out of indriya vishaya sanyoga. Vishayendriya sanyoga. When the sense organs come in contact with the sense objects, then this pleasure, this sukham is born. What about the tamasic one? Here there is no sense contact. This sukham is mainly born out of nidra, sleep, then alasya, physical laziness, and then pramada. So yesterday we said pramada means mental laziness. So now here one point we have to remember. Even the egoistic joys, in which category will it come? Sattvic, rajasic or tamasic? Egoistic joys means when somebody praises us, we feel happy. It will come under rajasic. So what should be the nature of rajasic joy? Pariname visham. So you will find that whenever we enjoy the egoistic joys, the end result has to be suffering alone. How can we prove that end result is suffering? So every time somebody praises us, the ego bloats up and the ego becomes bigger and bigger. Ego becoming bigger means what? In my own opinion, I think I am a great person. So a time comes when I am in competition with someone who is far better than me, and this will definitely happen, because somebody or the other is always superior to me in every field. So then what happens? In the front of such a person who is performing better, my ego is punctured. So that finally leads to dukkham alone. Right? So pariname, it is always visham. Now, another point we have to remember here is, not all the rajasic sukham is dukkham in the end. Right? For example, when you are hungry, you are eating food. That food is tasty. Right? Is there any dukkham there? No. Not all the rajasic sukham is always dukkham. Not all the tamasic sukham is also dukkham. No. For example, when you are really tired, then sleep is a blessing. That tamasic sukham cannot be said as, bad and all that. There are times when you need to relax. So that joy born out of relaxation, joy born out of sleep, etc., it is a need for the body. Always we cannot put them under negative category. So this aspect also we have to keep in mind. Tamasic sukham is necessary, rajasic sukham is necessary. Not always they are bad. Now the topic changes. The topic is all about our duties with respect to the gunas. So Bhagavan said, I have divided the society into 4 based on the duties. What are the 4? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So they are all born of, the division is born of gunas, swabhava prabhavair gunaihi. So yesterday we were discussing maximum sattva, then rajas, then tamas. This is Brahmana category. Kshatriya, what is the combination? Rajas, sattva and then tamas. Tamas minimum, rajas maximum, sattva in between. Then the third one is Vaishya category. What is Vaishya? Rajas, tamas and then last one sattva. Shudra category, it is tamas, rajas and finally sattva. Right. So with respect to karma, all of them are equal. Okay, by the way, what is the characteristics of a Brahmana? Shamaha, Damaha, Tapaha. They are all the inner virtues, quietude of mind, austerity, straightforwardness, knowledge, faith in the scriptures. This characterizes a Brahmana. What about a Kshatriya? Shaurya, Teja, Dhruti, Dakshya, valor, courage, not retreating from the battle, lordliness, leadership qualities, charity, Dhanam, Ishvara Bhavascha. So this categorizes a Kshatriya. What about Vaishya? So there in Vaishya category you will find that no virtues are mentioned. Krishi, Gaurakshya, Vanijyam. It's not values there. It is all what you call profession. Krishi, agriculture. Gaurakshya, rearing cattle. Vanijyam, business. This is Vaishya karma svabhavajam. What about Shudra? Again, no virtues mentioned. Paricharyatmakam karma. They are supposed to do Paricharya. Paricharya karma means service-oriented activities, serving the other 3. So now, a very important question which comes is, what is the benefit of caste system? Because this caste system has come from the Vedic tradition. There are people who say that India has been, so much deteriorated only because of this caste system. That belief is there. We should treat all human beings as equal. Why this division, etc.? This question is there in the society. Now, let us remember one thing. Whether you divide it or not, this division will always be there everywhere in the world. Do you mean to say that in the West, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras are not there? Definitely it is there. Brahmana means what? Thinking category. People who are very good in thinking. They are research-oriented scholars. Their work is more related to the mind, concentration, etc. It is not the physical work, it is more of the mental work. Such karmas are called Brahmana karma. Scholars. Right? So, these people are there everywhere in the world. Not just in India. What is Kshatriya? The leaders, the army people, the politicians, those who have leadership qualities, the executives, these kind of people are there, also they are everywhere. Vaishyas, the business people who are good in business, they are also there everywhere. So whether you, categorize them or not, this division is there everywhere. Nobody can deny it. You can't say that, no, we are all equal. We are not equal. There is difference. We have to accept it. Bhagavan himself has said, chātur-varṇyaṁ, mayā, sṛiṣhṭaṁ. I have created it. So in the creation, you cannot deny it. Now the question is, what is the benefit of strictly following caste system? What is the benefit? Now see, we have to understand one thing. There is a law in this cosmos. What is the law? I am born according to my inherent tendencies. My inherent tendencies will determine where I will be born. I mean Jivatma. A particular Jivatma, where this Jivatma is going to be born, will be determined by the inherent tendencies. If the Jivatma has animalistic tendencies, this Jivatma will be born as an animal. In that animal also varieties of categories are there. There is a rat, there is a cat, there is a dog, there is an elephant. In which yoni that Jivatma will be born will depend upon that samskara. If that Jivatma has got human tendencies, then he will be born in human family. Right? There is a system already there. A mango tree, what will it produce? It will not produce apple, it will only produce mangoes. So there is a law there. There is a perfect law. Now the question is, if we can strictly follow the caste system, strictly follow means what? Brahmana marrying Brahmana. Brahmana man marrying Brahmana woman. This is called as, purity in the breed. If we strictly follow this was the time in the Vedic times they used to strictly follow this, then what will happen? Any Jivatma who is, say for example, having Brahmana tendencies, where will he be born? He will clearly be born in Brahmana family. So the moment the child is born, the child is very clear about svadharma, what I should do. There is no confusion. Because these vasanas, this samskara is something which cannot be seen outward. It is only the body you see. But what kind of person is this, we don't know. Whether the samskaras are belonging to the Brahmana one or Kshatriya one or Vaishya one, we don't know, because externally it is not seen. Vasanas are unseen. So many times what happens in the modern society is, because nowadays everywhere it is varna sankara. Anyone can marry anyone. So the child is totally confused regarding svadharma. And by the time this fellow grows up, trial and error is the method. You study something, then you find that I think this is not fit for me. Then you do something else. Very many people, they do engineering first, then after they do MBA, not clear at all. Then finally they end up doing some music or something like that. By the time you find out what is your svadharma, life is over. Yes or no? There is so much of confusion regarding svadharma. And that movie, what is that? Three Idiot. The basis of that movie is nothing but this, confusion regarding svadharma. Yes or no? I don't know what I am supposed to do. I don't know my nature. Because of peer pressure, etc., I select something and finally I find out that I am an old man out there. Everybody is progressing, everybody is studying well, and I am not able to do it. And I am not very clear what I should do. All these confusions are because of this. Whereas in the Vedic times it was very clear. They used to strictly follow this, caste system. So then what happens? The moment I am born in a family, I am very clear what I am supposed to do. Because otherwise I will not be born in that family. There is a law in place, I have to just obey that law. Then who is benefited? I am benefited. Because then I will know my svadharma, then I have to perform my action based on svadharma. I don't have to do trial and error method. Isn't it? When they select police dogs, police dogs are high quality dogs. You can't take any stray dog as police dog. No, any dog is okay, we can train them. No. There is a particular breed. There are certain qualities which are needed for a police dog. For example, it has to be courageous. It has to be intelligent. It has to be, dexterous. It has to be obedient. All these virtues are necessary for a police dog. So what do? It is said that 7 generations they ensure that breed purity is maintained. Only the high quality dog is mated with another high quality dog, so that purity is maintained. So therefore, the moment this puppy is born, it belongs to this category. You don't have to do trial and error method. Are you able to understand? Because a system is there. If this puppy is born out of this high quality dog, then this puppy will have all those virtues, that qualities which the parents have. So therefore, at a very young age itself, they can train that puppy to do its responsibilities. This is exactly what our Vedic, culture also did. Strictly follow this, In fact, in the beginning, first chapter, Arjuna uses a term, varna sankara. What is varna sankara? A Brahmana marrying Vaishya or a Shudra. What will be the baby? Tell me. It will be a mix. Now the child will be considered what I am supposed to do. In the society, this problem you can see. In the name of freedom, Varna Sankara is happening, and therefore what is happening? What is happening is the child is confused regarding svadharma. Right? So this we have to understand. You will always find that to the extent we deviate from Vedic culture, we will have problems. Now the question is, now see, let us discuss one more aspect regarding this. What is the problem when there is Varna Sankara? The problem is, I don't know my svadharma, then I do paradharma, something which is not meant for me. Then what is the greatest danger? Number one, I am not exhausting my present vasanas when I am not doing my svadharma. And number two, I am creating new vasanas. This is the danger. Right? When I am not doing my svadharma, when I am doing my paradharma, Bhagavan himself is going to say later, paradharmo bhayavaha. So when there is confusion in my svadharma, when I am doing paradharma, 2 major things are happening. What is it? Number one, I am not able to exhaust my vasanas, the existing vasanas. Number two, I create new vasana. So what happens to the vasana bundle? Is it increasing or decreasing? It is increasing. I have come here to exhaust my vasanas, but in the process, I create more and more vasana. Remember, more and more vasana means more and more impurity in the mind. More and more ragadvesha. Right? So what does it mean? More and more bondage. I have come here to liberate myself, but I go back strongly bound. This is the defect. Right? That is why this caste system is important. So, what I am trying to say is, whatever the Vedic tradition has prescribed us, that is the best. Always. To the extent you get deviated, you will have problems. Another major problem which our society is facing today, let me tell you. What is the present mode of selecting your leader? It is democracy. Yes or no? What is democracy? Everyone has equal voting power. This was never followed in the Vedic times. Why? In the society, who will be maximum? Sattvic people, Rajasic people, or Tamasic people? Tamasic people. Now if you say one vote for every individual, if there is voting system, these Tamasic people, what is the characteristic of Tamas? No knowledge. They have no knowledge. So when an ignorant person is asked to select the leader, because Tamasic people are maximum, they only will, they will only have the majority. So what kind of people they will select as their leader? Out of ignorance, you choose wrong person as the leader. Nowadays that is seen. You just give 500,000 rupees and he will vote for you. This is the kind of things politicians are doing. You can easily, what you call that? Influence him and get his vote. You see? So in the Vedic times, what did they do? They did not give this freedom to Shudras at all, the Tamasic people at all. What did they do? A king was made the leader. What is king? Kshatriya. Because he has the leadership qualities. He can get things done. He can command people and get the work done. A king was made the leader, guided by Rajaguru. Rajaguru means what? Brahmanas. Brahmana has the right knowledge, and guided by this right knowledge, Kshatriya rules the kingdom. That is the best way of ruling, because now you have an efficient king guided by a knowledgeable person. Won't it be the best? So it will be good for everyone. A Brahmana, if you see these virtues, Shama, Dama, Tapa, etc., he is a selfless person. He will do only what is good for all. He has a pure mind. There is no selfishness. He will always walk the path of righteousness. So what is good for everyone, in that vision, based on the knowledge of the scriptures, in that vision, he will guide the Kshatriya king, and the Kshatriya king obeys this Rajaguru, a holy man, and then the kingdom is ruled. So therefore, what was the result? Generation after generation, the whole society was blessed. There was no problem. There was no environmental problem. There was no problem at all, we can say. But today, we are having so many problems. It is said that last 30-40 years, we have literally destroyed the planet Earth. What is the reason? The reason is the Shudra has become the king. These Tamasic people, they have selected a Shudra, and now the Shudra is ruling the kingdom. It is said in Bhagavatam also that in Kali Yuga, Shudra will rule. It is very clearly said in the second canto. Shudra ruling the kingdom means what? A Tamasic person, an ignorant person ruling the kingdom. What will happen? He will destroy the whole earth. Yes or no? And today what is happening? The same thing is happening. A Shudra will never understand the importance of value-based education, a spiritual education. He will not understand. So the whole syllabus was changed. What is the syllabus now in our schools and colleges? There is no spirituality at all. There is no value-based education at all. What kind of education is this now? Just money-making education, bread-winning education. Who brought this change? A Shudra brought this change. Why did he bring this change? Because he never understood the value of spiritual knowledge, the higher knowledge. You see, the whole society is suffering now. Not society, the whole world is suffering. The point I want to say is, to the extent we deviate from the Vedic culture, you will find problems in the society. So all these problems that we see, it is only because we are not following the Vedic injunctions. Right, this is just a digression from the main topic. Now we will come back to the main topic. So here what Bhagavan is trying to say is, whether you are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or a Shudra, all of us, we have the what you call opportunity to gain liberation. Because what is necessary is only a pure mind. What is important is not what profession you are in. No. The most important thing is, how are you performing your duties? If you are performing your duties as a worship of the Lord, then your mind becomes pure, and this is the only qualification necessary for God realization. A pure mind. Right? And this purity of mind can be attained by performing our duties as a worship of the Lord. So therefore, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, all of them have got equal opportunity in gaining liberation, in gaining spiritual knowledge. This is the topic which Bhagavan is discussing now. Right. Now, let us chant verse number 45. Sve sve karmanyabhirataha samsiddhim labhate naraha swakarma niratas siddhim yatha vindati tachrunu स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्मनिरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु. स्वे स्वे कर्मणि अभिरतः, by following one's own karma, svadharma, duties. Brahmana need to do only Brahmana duties. Kshatriya only Kshatriya duties, Vaishya Shudra only their duties. Swe swe karmani abhirataha samsiddhim labhate. It is possible to attain samsiddhi, that spiritual perfection, liberation. It is possible. Swakarma nirata siddhim yatha vindati tachrunu. How by performing one's duties a person can attain the highest? Listen to me. How to be done? So next verse is the answer. Verse number 46. Yataf pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha yataf pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. Yes, swakarmana, with one's own svadharma, duty, tam abhyarchya, by worshipping him. Who is that him? That Supreme Lord. Who is that Lord? Yataha pravrittihi bhutanam. That Supreme Lord from whom the whole creation has come into existence. All the beings have come into existence. That Lord who has given us the gift of life. That Lord who is the very strength, who is the very vitality in this body. All the actions that we do, it is not ours. How the brain is functioning, we don't know. How the hands are functioning, legs are functioning, kidney, liver, we really don't know anything how this body is functioning. But there is a Lord who has given us this ability to operate these sense organs. This ability has come from Him. Pravritti also means actions. From whom this ability to act has come for all beings. Eyes, ears, everything, how they are functioning, we don't know. So somebody is responsible. Who is responsible? The Lord has given us this gift, this ability to do whatever we can do. So, He is the source. Yatav pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam. Where is He? He is everywhere. He is pervading the whole creation. That Lord, swakarmanatam abhyarcha. So what is our duty? Our duty is to be grateful to that Lord. Our duty is to remain humble, accept that everything has come from Him, and thus whatever duties we have, let us worship Him through our duties. Now this is nothing but Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga concept is summarized in one line. So, swakarmanatam abhyarcha, then what will happen? Siddhim vindati manavaha. Man attains perfection. So this is what we have to do. With our duties, let us worship Him. Let us not forget Him. Let us not be ungrateful to Him. This is the mistake. And it is because of this mistake that we are all bound in this limited, imperfect physical body. Convert your duty into worship. This is the point. Right? Jagata ishadhi yukta sevanam ashtamurti deva pujanam. Jagata sevanam, convert it into deva pujanam. Serving the world itself is my worship unto the Lord. If this way you can do, then these actions will liberate you. It will free you from all kinds of bondage. Right? But suppose we do paradharma, then what will happen? Verse number 47. Shreyan svadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushṭhitāt svabhavaniyatam karma kurvannāpnoti kilbisham. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat swanushṭhitāt svabhavaniyatam karma kurvannāpnoti kilbisham. Yes. So here the advice is, never do paradharma, do your swadharma only. Even if you are able to do paradharma, no, swanushṭhitāt, far better. You can do paradharma very well, even then don't do. This is the instruction. In fact, this instruction has already come in 3rd chapter. These are all only repetitions, because 18th chapter is a summary. So there Bhagavan says, paradharmo bhayavaha. It's very dangerous to do paradharma. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha. In your own swadharma there will be lot of defects, but even then do that only. For example, in the case of Arjuna, what is the defect which he is facing, the problem which he is facing in this swadharma? The problem is, now he has to kill his own near and dear ones. That is, the defect. Every profession has its own professional hazard. There is no profession which is free from defects. Every profession has it. So even if you find some defects in your profession, don't give it up. Just because there is some defect. That's what Bhagavan is saying. What will happen if you are doing swadharma? Svabhavaniyatam karma kurvannāpnoti kilbisham. If you are doing your swadharma based on your samskaras, nature, vasanas, tendencies, etc., then you will not incur sin. What does it mean? What it means is, if you are doing paradharma, as I said earlier, what are you doing? Number 1, you are not exhausting your existing vasanas. Number 2, when you are doing paradharma, you are creating new vasana. For example, a person whose swadharma is studying engineering, right? Or let us say, a person whose swadharma is music. Under peer pressure, he takes up his profession or he joins engineering college. Then what will happen? Music vasana is there, it is not getting an opportunity to get exhausted. Music vasana is there means what? Desire is there, it is still there. Unfulfilled desire remains there. And what is he doing by studying engineering? A new vasana is created, a new desire is created. Engineering desire. So now totally how many desires? The unfulfilled music desire plus newly created engineering desire. So what has happened to the desire bundle? It has become more. So now remember, every desire will force you to action, and that action will in turn give you karma phala, and that karma phala will in turn give you new birth. So mind has become more impure, mind is filled with more of ragadvesha, the existing ragadvesha is not gone, new ragadvesha is created, and therefore you are going from bondage to bondage. So therefore what has to be done? Do only your svadharma. So in the next verse, Bhagavan emphasizes the same point once again. Verse number 48. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadoshamapi nyatyajit sarvarambha hi doshena dhūmenāgnirivāvritaha sahajam karma kaunteya sadoshamapi nyatyajit sarvarambha hi doshena dhūmenāgnirivāvritaha. Sahajam karma, swadharma kaunteya, sadosham api, though it may have defects, professional hazards, though it may be there, nyatyajit, don't give up. Because in this world, every profession has defects. Just like sarvarambha hi doshena dhūmena agnihi iva avritaha. See the example given. Just like fire is always covered with smoke, in the same way, every profession has its own defects. Just like the fire is always covered with smoke, if there is fire, there will be some smoke. In the same way, every profession has its own hazard. So just because there is some difficulty, some defects, etc., don't give up your profession. It is not good for you. Right? The great football, players, etc. Fine, name, fame, everything is there, but defect is also there. What is the defect? You don't know when your leg is going to break. The other fellow is, waiting to break your leg through foul means. That is called as professional hazard. Isn't it? Every profession you take, there is no profession where everything is perfect, defect free. No. In the COVID times, who suffered the most? All these medical doctors, etc. They had to be in that PPE kit. Now that is a professional hazard. Isn't it? Overtime working, they had to do. It's you can't, So in every profession you will find this. No, Swamiji, your job is wonderful. Teaching scriptures, no problem. Only talking and nice things talking. We also have professional hazard. What is that? Sometimes we are invited in such places where nobody is interested in spirituality. That person who has invited, he is fully inspired. Swamiji, this knowledge we should give to everyone. Now he has organized. And a group of youngsters are sitting there. Absolutely no interest in spirituality, but what to do? The lecturer has called, so they are sitting there. Now just imagine giving spiritual discourse in front of people who have absolutely no interest. What you should do? Sadoshamapi nyatyajet, Bhagavan says. Don't run away from there. Tease them. This is a professional hazard, isn't it? Or in some places, nobody has come. Only 1 or 2 people are there. Again, just because nobody has come, you can't stop it. You have to do it. So therefore, what I am trying to say is, every profession has its own problems. The grass looks greener from the other side, they say. Isn't it? So therefore Bhagavan says, because of some defect here or there, don't give up your svadharma, because performance of svadharma is the way to exhaust your vasanas. You are in a particular place, there is lot of, that inclination, tendency, samskara is there to perform that particular thing. Exhaust that vasanas by performing these duties as a worship of the Lord. Understand that duties must be performed not to get money, name, fame, etc. Duties are performed for only one reason. What is that? Purification of mind. Chitta Shuddhi should happen. This is the purpose of performance of all duties. Let it be very clear. The rest, other things are all byproducts. Money, name, fame, recognition, they are all byproduct. The main product is purification of mind. So this clarity has to be there. Our Vedic culture was rooted in this clarity. A jīva is born in order to get liberated. So therefore, at a very young age itself, the jīva should know what his svadharma is. And for that, he should be born in that particular family. For that, caste system had to be strictly followed. You see, lot of importance was given so that the child knows, and the parents also know, the child is born in this family, that means this child has such samskaras. Just like when the puppy is born to that hybrid dog, we know this puppy will have all these qualities. Just like when the mango tree, we know it cannot be an apple, the fruit has to be mango alone, because nature will not make a mistake. Isn't it? So therefore, perform your duties in this way as a worship of the Lord. What will happen when we perform our duties in that karma yoga spirit? So the result is given in verse number 49. Asakta buddhis sarvatra jitātmā vikataspruhaha naishkarmya siddhim paramām sannyāsenādhigacchati. Asakta buddhis sarvatra jitātmā vigataspruhaha naishkarmya siddhim paramām sannyāsenādhigacchati. Yes, when we perform our duties as a worship of the Lord, without ego and egocentric desires, without insisting upon the results, walking the path of righteousness, goodness, in this way, when we live a divine life, taking minimum and producing maximum, living a selfless life, a divine life, this is nothing but karma yoga. When you do it, what happens? These are the things which will happen. Number one, asakta buddhihi sarvatra. That buddhi becomes asakta, unattached. That buddhi, our mind, becomes unattached with everything. Means what? No raga, no dvesha. A healthy mind. Asakta buddhi. Then jitātmā. Such a person becomes a master of his senses, master of his mind. A mind which is pure, a mind which is disciplined, a mind which is obedient, a mind which is cheerful. This is called as jitātmā. He has mastery over his mind and the senses. Chitatma vigata spruhaha, no craving at all. Such a mind has no craving at all for anything of the world, anything, being or situation. Such a healthy mind he cultivates. Such a person is fit for the highest meditation. Naishkarmya siddhim paramam sannyasena adhigacchati. Such a person is fit to go to the next stage. What is the next stage? Karma Yoga sadhana is what we have discussed. What is the next stage? Jnana Yoga sadhana. What we are discussing now is Pravritti Marga. What is the next stage? Nivritti Marga. Right? So he is fit to take up sannyas. Because now he has a very healthy mind, a very pure mind. That is a necessary qualification for meditation. And the job of a sannyasi is to meditate. That's the main task. So, such a person, sannyasena, by taking sannyas, by going to the next stage, through meditation, what does he attain? Naishkarmya siddhim adhigacchati. Naishkarmya siddhi. A siddhi, an ability. What is that ability? Or what is that state? That state is called naishkarmya, the state of actionlessness. Through sannyasa, he attains the state of actionlessness. What is that state? Paramam. It is the highest state. So what is the state of actionlessness? We have discussed this before also. That state where your identification is totally with actionless consciousness. You have completely disidentified from actionful body, mind, intellect. All the actions are happening at the body level, mind level, intellect level. But now your identification is not there. Your identification is with the consciousness. So because your identification is with consciousness, you start experiencing the properties of consciousness. In this context, what is the property? Actionlessness is the property of consciousness. So at the body level you are active, but deep down, what is your understanding? I don't do anything. I am that actionless consciousness in the presence of which the body, mind, intellect, etc. are active. This state is called Naishkarmya Siddhi. Naishkarmya. Right? Such a person is free from the bondage of all action. So Naishkarmya Siddhi is not abstaining from performing duties. No. Naishkarmya Siddhi is that state of actionless where you have renounced your identification with the instruments of action. So Naishkarmya is not renouncing action, it is renouncing the identification with the instruments of action. This state is called Naishkarmya. After that, that person is completely free from all action, he is liberated. So Arjuna, this karma yogi, after performing his duty as a worship of the Lord, etc., he attains that prepared mind with which he is able to do higher meditation. Now the topic is going to change. Now Bhagavan is going to deal with this topic of higher meditation. Right? So the next verse. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma tathapnoti nibodha me samasenaiva kaunteya niṣṭhā jñānasya ya parā siddhim prapto yatha brahma tathāpnoti nibodha me samasenaiva kaunteya. Yes, this person who is siddhim praptah, through karma yoga, he has attained this siddhi, this purity of mind he has attained. Now, such a person, yatha brahma apnoti, how he is going to attain that highest state of Brahman, that truth, how he is going to realize God, that state? Arjuna, samasena eva. In a very short, brief way, I will tell you. That state which is nishtha jnanasya yapara, the highest state of knowledge. That highest knowledge, how he attains. That Brahman, how he attains. This karma yogi, how he attains that state, that I will tell you. So now, the discussion turns to meditation. So now, let us chant verse number 51. Buddhya vishuddhaya yuktaha dhrityatmanam niyamya cha shabdadin vishayans tyaktva ragadvesho vyudasya cha buddhya vishuddhaya yuktaha dhrityatmanam niyamya cha shabdadin vishayans tyaktva ragadvesho vyudasya cha. Yes. At the seat of meditation, what does it do? Buddhya vishuddhaya yuktaha. Now after this karma yoga sadhana, his mind has become pure. Buddhi. What is the nature of buddhi? Vishuddhi. Pure. Extremely pure. Pure means what? There is no raga dvesha. Dhrutya. And that intellect is very strong. Not only it is pure, it is very strong. Where did it get the strength from? The knowledge of the scriptures. So that buddhi, atmanam niyamya, it is capable of controlling the mind. So at the seat of meditation, the mind is wandering here and there. What does this buddhi do? This intellect is able to bring back the mind from the world of objects. Mind is running here and there, wandering. This buddhi, dhrutya, vishuddhaya, this buddhi, this intellect which is extremely pure and which is strong, with its power, it is able to withdraw that wandering mind and fix it in the self. This is the whole thing. So at the seat of meditation, what are we supposed to do? Fix the wandering mind, bring back the wandering mind and fix it in the self. Self means what? Consciousness. So at the seat of meditation, these two entities you will see if the mind is pure. What are the two entities? Consciousness on one side, thoughts on the other side. Thoughts are worldly thoughts. So what are we supposed to do? Withdraw the attention from the thoughts, fix the mind in the self, in consciousness. This consciousness in us is none other than God only. So put in another words, remembering God. In the language of devotion, it is called remembrance of God. In the language of knowledge, we say abiding in the self, abiding in the state of one's being. Now these are all different, way of putting it, but it's all the same. So your focus is upon consciousness, awareness in you. And the mind is cooperating. Why the mind is cooperating? Vishuddhaya, it is pure. It is free from ragadvesha. Earlier it is said, asakta buddhi. It is not stuck here and there. When there is likes and dislikes, anger, greed, jealousy, etc., the mind gets stuck in the world. Very difficult to withdraw that mind. But now this mind is very pure mind, no anger, no lust, no greed, no jealousy, no hatred, no revenge, no attachment. Such a healthy mind you can easily withdraw from the world and you can fix that mind upon the self. Shabdadin Vishayans Tyaktva. There are Vishayas, Shabda extra, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha. They are all different Vishayas. Shabdadin Vishayan Tyaktva. So at the seat of meditation, you are not interested in the outer world now. You are able to withdraw the mind, not getting carried away by the external distractions. So now what you are hearing is Shabdadin Vishayan. Vishayans Tyaktva. Withdraw the mind, not getting distracted by it. Right? So such a person, mind is totally under his control. The external disturbances are not disturbing him at all. The mind is an obedient child. It listens to his instructions. My dear mind, don't go here and there. There is no happiness there. Real happiness is here. Ananda is here. Bliss is here. Come back. So that mind comes. Shabdadin Vishayans Tyaktva Raga Dvesho Vyudasya cha. Giving up raga and dvesha, likes and dislikes. At the seat of meditation, he is able to do all this because he has been doing it as a karma yogi. The mind is trained to do all this. So therefore, effortlessly mind drops everything outer, and that mind easily withdraws into the inner self. What is his lifestyle? Let us chant verse number 52 and 53. So these are all Jnana Yoga sadhanas. Vivikta sevi lagvashi yata vakkaya manasaha dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupashritaha vivikta sevi lagvashi yata vakkaya manasaha dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupashritaha ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimucya nirmama shantaha brahma bhuyaya kalpate ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimucya nirmama shantaha brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Yes, now this person, he has graduated to nivritti marga. Now he is into what you call serious sadhana, serious meditation. So what is his lifestyle? So it is at vivikta sevi. So for more and more meditation, what you need? You need solitude. So therefore, he withdraws himself into some solitary place, remains alone, vivikta sevi, chooses some what you call solitary place for his meditation, etc. And then lagvashi, eats less, eating less. Whatever is needed for the body, only that much he eats. Because eating is directly connected to meditation. Excess you eat, then you will enter into tamas. You will not be able to meditate. What you will do? You will only sleep when you eat too much. Gurudev used to say the blood is not available for the brain work. All the blood is gone into the stomach only to digest the food. So those who are regular meditators, they know there is a relation between eating and meditation. If you eat less, not too less, then also it's a problem. Then you will meditate on food then instead of God. So you will have to do trial and error method. What is that? even after eating, you are able to meditate. So the body is also not affected. At the same time, your meditation also goes unhindered. Laghvashi, eating less, only what is needed. Yata, vak, kaya, manasaha. Very, what you call, disciplined. Disciplined with respect to vak, speech. He talks little, only what is necessary. Vak, kaya, as far as physical activity also, very minimum. Manasaha, mind-related activity also, minimum. So, thought, word and deed, minimum. His focus is completely upon the self. Attention is upon the self. Dhyana yoga paraha nityam. Constantly, what is he doing? Dhyanam. Dhyana yoga is paraha, the highest priority now for him. Meditating upon the self, becoming one with the self, identifying with the self, making it a habit. Constant practice is the way to make anything a habit. So he is doing constant practice. Again and again, again and again, again and again when you do this. What are you doing? Identifying with the self. Right? Identifying with the self. This is what you are doing. Shifting your attention to the self. Shifting your attention to consciousness. And again and telling, I am not the body, I am consciousness. So constantly when you practice this thought that I am not the body, I am consciousness, slowly what happens? Your identity gets transformed. A time comes when you know, I am not the body, I am consciousness. It is a fact. Right? A wrong notion you are replacing by right understanding. A wrong notion has come out of a habit. So how to win over a habit, wrong habit? By another habit, a counter habit. Right? Now I have this wrong notion that I am the body. This wrong notion is nothing but a thought. This thought has to be neutralized by a counter thought. So practicing this counter thought again and again is what is called as nididhyasanam, and this is the purpose of meditation. Again and again identifying with the self, with the consciousness and saying, this is the real me, not the other one, the body. Dhyana yoga paro nityam. In this, what is the most important thing? Vairagyam samupashritaha. Along with vairagya. Vairagya means dispassion. If there is passion, you will get attached to the outer world. If there is dispassion, you are able to withdraw from the outer world, withdraw from the body also. Withdrawal becomes easy when there is dispassion. Right? So along with vairagya, based on viveka, he is doing this dhyana. And in this process, all these things are very useful. Ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodham, parigraham, vimuchya. Vimuchya, giving up what? Ahankara. Here ahankara means identification with the body. Upadhishu aham aham iti karoti iti ahankara. Saying that this body is me, this is me, that is called as ahankara. So ahankara means identification with the body, giving it up. Balam. Balam means what? Strength. You mean to say we should give up strength also? No. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Kama raga adi yuktam balam. That balam in us, that force in us, which is born out of kama and raga, out of desire. There is a force which comes, the force of desire, the force of attachment. There is a force that also gives. So balam means that, not the physical strength. Physical strength is necessary. Mental strength, physical strength, they are all necessary. But the force born out of all these negative emotions, that has to be given up. So balam, darpam, arrogance, pride, kamam, lust, desires, worldly desires. Krodham, anger. Parigraham, the tendency to accumulate, the tendency to hoard. A sannyasi is not supposed to do that. Why? He is supposed to depend only on God. There is Lord who is taking care of everything. Why should I hoard? Hoarding means what? Lack of trust. I don't trust that Bhagavan will take care of me. So better I only do my yoga kshema. My welfare and well-being, I only have to take care. If I don't take care, who will take care? So therefore, there is a tendency in all of us to hoard. A sannyasi is not supposed to do that. Why? Bhagavan is there. He will take care of me. You see, that needs tremendous faith. Parigraham, giving up. So he is an advanced seeker. So therefore, expectations are also very high. Parigraham, nirmamaha. So all these things, vimuchya, nirmamaha, not considering anything as his. Mama means mine. Nothing is mine, everything belongs to God. Nirmamaha, shantaha. You will find that when all these things are there, what will be the state of mind? There will be lot of shanti. There will be lot of peace in the mind. In that peaceful mind, that person becomes fit to realize Brahman. That person becomes fit for God realization. So it is said, Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Such a person becomes deserving to attain Brahman. There is a qualification. So these are all the qualifications. Right? Living a meditation-oriented life. No attachment. No negativities in the mind. So such a mind easily gets fixed in the self, abides in the self. Such a person becomes fit to know the highest truth, and he knows it also. Then what happens? Verse number 54 and 55. Brahma bhutah prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param. Brahma bhutah prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato jñātva vishate tadanantaram. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato jñātva vishate. Yes, such a person who is realized Brahma bhutaha, he has become one with Brahman now. He has become one with God. No identification with the body. His identification is completely with consciousness. What is his lifestyle? Prasannatma. He is reveling in bliss, infinite bliss. Prasannatma. Na shochati, na kankshati. He becomes free from shoka, sorrow. Na kankshati. He becomes free from all desires. So this is perfect freedom from sorrow. This is perfect freedom from desire. Remember, in the Karma Yogi also these terms come. But there is no perfection there. To a great extent, desire is gone. To a great extent. But here it is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Because now his identification is with consciousness. What is the nature of consciousness? Immortal, infinite, bliss. Perfection is the nature. So that perfection is expressed in his personality. And now what is his attitude with others in the society? Samaha sarveshu bhuteshu. Now he knows that he is consciousness and not the body. So naturally when he sees others, what will he see? He will see consciousness alone. So we are all one. Samaha. There is no difference. Difference is only at the body level. Body today it is there, tomorrow it is not there. It is impermanent. What is the only permanent thing in the body? Consciousness. And all these beings are none other than consciousness. It is the state of my own being. So we are all one. Samaha, sarva bhuteshu. And therefore, he is able to love everyone. He is able to forgive everyone. There is only, all noble virtues of life gain expression in his contact with the outer world. Effortlessly, all the noble virtues spring forth from his heart. Samassarveshu bhuteshu. Not only that, mad bhaktim labhate param. He gains para bhakti, the highest devotion towards me, Bhagavan says. His devotion is a perfect devotion, highest devotion. So here Bhagavan is saying, the one who has become a jnani, he is the greatest bhakta. There is no difference between a jnani and a bhakta. Both are one and the same. Right? His love for God is infinite. Parabhakti means what? Infinite love for God. Now tell me, whom do we love infinitely, unconditionally? Every one of us. We love ourselves infinitely and unconditionally. Yes or no? I love myself infinitely. I love myself unconditionally. This is true with everyone. Animals, plants, birds, human beings. Whom do I love the most? Myself. No, Swamiji, I love my wife the most. You love her because she is giving happiness to you. So who is important? Because my wife gives me happiness, she is dear to me. Tomorrow, if she is giving sorrow, then what will happen? You see? So who is the most important? I am the most important. I love myself. I love others only because they are the source of happiness to me. I am not saying this. Upanishad is saying this. Upanishad is saying this. For all of us, we love ourselves infinite, unconditional. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Upanishad says. Everything is dear for my own sake. I am the most important. Now, a jnani, what does he consider Bhagavan? Not somebody outside, not living in some Vaikuntha Kailasa, no. Not in some heaven, no. He is my own self. You see, I am not different from God at all because He is the very self in me, consciousness in me. So naturally, He is the one who will love Bhagavan infinitely because he sees Bhagavan as the very I, as the very self. So therefore it is said, Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. He is the one who has a maximum devotion for me, infinite devotion for me. And with this bhakti, bhaktya mam abhijanati, he comes to know me completely. Yavan yah cha asmi tattvataha. Tattvataha, in reality, who am I? What is my limit? What is my nature? Everything he knows. Tattvataha, in reality. Tato, after that, mam tattvataha jnatva, having known me totally, completely, vishate tad anantaram. After that, he enters into me, becomes one with me. This is the culmination. Right? With this jnanam, bhakti, ultimate state, he comes to know me. So this state is called Aham Brahma Asmi. Here the journey is completed. Here he becomes a Jivan Mukta. Right? So this is the state we have to reach. Okay. Swamiji, over? Yes, over. But many more verses are seen. Now these verses are inspirational verses. Arjuna, you must get it. This is the ultimate. At any cost, this is the purpose for which you are born. So the next verses are all inspirational verses, inspiring Arjuna to walk this path, the path of spirituality, which gives us ultimate liberation. It is a mere coincidence that this jnana exposition has happened in front of Sharada. So let us remember Mother Saraswati. He Sharade Ma, He Sharade Ma. अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ, तू स्वर की देवी ये संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है हर गीत तुझसे, हम हैं अकेले हम हैं अधूरे, तेरी शरण में हमें प्यार दे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ, मुनियों ने समझी गुणियों ने जानी, वेदों की भाषा पुराणों की वाणी, हम भी तो समझें हम भी तो जाने, विद्या का हमको अधिकार दे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ, तू श्वेत वर्णी कमल पे विराजे, हाथों में वीणा मुकुट सर पे साजे, मन से हमारे मिटा के अंधेरे, हम हमको उजालों का संसार दे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ। अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।